there was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss, they're puny.
Are you a puny little ant, or are you something more than that? Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudowski of WeAreChange.org, and in this video, we're going to do something that I don't see a lot of people doing. We haven't done ourselves, and that is talk about good, important, positive news. Something, of course, that you won't hear on the mainstream media, but of course, you need to hear more than ever, especially when it comes to individuals coming together, making the biggest difference. Meanwhile, the government lies and manipulates, tries to put you in a constant state of fear in order to manipulate you. Sorry, I just had a cough there. Nothing to worry about there at all, YouTube censors. Don't worry. We're still taking everything very seriously. Trust your doctors. Nothing to see here. Okay, are the YouTube moderators gone? Okay, I bring this up before jumping into the really positive news, only because of the recent YouTube decisions have definitely hit us very hard. And now we're getting some insight to why this is happening from Anil Mohan, who is the chief product officer of YouTube, that recently said independent media or people espousing opinions in their basement, well, they're just simply not news, unlike the professional authoritative sources out there like the mainstream media. You know, the same mainstream media like CNN, which one of their star anchors had the sickness and was going outside, while, of course, he's telling you to stay inside. The same mainstream media that told us there was weapons of mass destruction. Jeffrey Epstein was that charity-giving, upstanding human being. Yeah, that mainstream media. And I could make a whole video about this Neil Mohan's comment, which again, in my opinion, are absolutely mind-boggling, especially since we're in a situation where no one really knows what's going on. Many people are wrong, even the experts. And as an independent media organization that has been taking this seriously all the way in January, told you that this was going to be something major, and also does on-the-ground exclusive reports, not only on Jeffrey Epstein's island, but in countries like Venezuela and Somalia. To hear such disparaging comments that we provide no context is absolutely absurd. And now, after just being fully demonetized by YouTube, they put our efforts in question and our abilities to do our on-the-ground reporting, which we're known for. And that's why we appreciate everyone's support. Before you do support, make sure you do have your food and water supply secured, which we've been telling you to do from a very long time. But if you haven't done it, please do that first. And if you're feeling giving, we appreciate any support we could get on wearechange.org/donate. There's many ways that you could help and contribute, even ways without spending a single dollar. Check out wearechange.org/donate to be a part of this independent media organization. Now, just jumping right into this topic, obviously we're living in extraordinary times with a situation that is developing and changing right in front of our eyes. There's been a lot of flip-flopping, not only by government agencies, but the, quote, trusted authorities, even mainstream media figures, independent figures. We've been hearing, don't wear a mask, it's nothing. It's not going to hurt you. It's contained. It's just going to be like the flu. It's going to be like the Spanish flu. It's going to be like a global pandemic that's going to wipe out millions. Oh, the projections were totally wrong. Fever's a main symptom. Now fever's not a main symptom. Stay inside unless you're essential. What is essential? We don't know. This definitely didn't come from a biolab. Oh, it probably did come from a biolab. Oh, it was definitely that new cell phone technology that makes your cell phone work quicker. No, it definitely wasn't that. No, it's the flu. No, wait, it's all a scam. It's all a lie. Oh, no, wait, it is serious. On and on and on. I could keep going about the things that just have been completely contradicted just within the last few days from what people normally commonly believed as the truth. It's definitely, the one certainty is that we are in an uncertain situation. And with those uncertain situations, especially with experts and even some people who are convinced that they're the most open-minded people believing that they have it all figured out, obviously they don't. And because of that unknown situation, some politicians have decided to take the situation into their own hands and, according to many, have definitely overreacted, enabling and empowering themselves while taking away people's basic human rights. Powers which, of course, they will most likely never give back, or if so, will do it reluctantly. And it's important to point out here, while everyone is on a total lockdown, the people who are friends with these politicians get to have their businesses open, just like the multinational corporation Walmart that's actually investing in Wuhan, China right now. That's an actual legitimate fact here. Like Amazon, that is putting workers in unsafe positions, firing anyone who complains, as they work hard to ship you non-essential items, including toys, to family-friendly show here. Let's just say, plunger yourself. All the while, other businesses and even other responsible individuals that are going out of their way to practice proper etiquette and consideration of other individuals, having the proper PPE, following all the protocols, well, they get swatted all across the country, or fined, or ticketed, or threatened by individuals who claim to protect and serve you, that of course are enforcing social distancing rules by violating social distancing. This latest clip here from New York City is a little bit egregious, especially with a wannabe gangster thug police officer acting like a wild animal and beating up and jumping an individual for just filming the situation of them breaking the social distancing while enforcing social distancing. I mean, look at this kind of animalistic, barbaric behavior that is just not social distancing. And of course, this is going to happen more and more, to even greater extent, to more insane measures that are already being implemented, like in the United Kingdom, where the police are asking you to snitch on someone who is allegedly repeating conspiracy theories. Now, in one part, why this is happening is because of the larger divide and conquer agenda out there that is trying to get you to hate your fellow man, to see anyone else except them as the real problem here. Now hang on here with me for just a little bit as I explain what is really going on right now, since of course there have been a lot of distractions in the media that want to keep you in a constant state of fear, not questioning them or their quote authority, and they definitely don't want you figuring out that with all of these problems, the solution is right in front of our eyes. Now, the first step to realizing it is to understand that a lot of the information that we're getting is, of course, misrepresentation of what's happening, especially when it comes to some of the latest photos that are being released showing people allegedly crowded all around each other, not listening or abiding or caring about, quote, social distancing. And these photos, if you actually read some of the comments associated with them, really highlight a lot of angry individuals that get very triggered when they see these images. Highlighting, of course, how outraged people are because of actions like this. I mean, we have to understand when it comes to some of these photos, well, there's a lot of them just being manipulated, especially when you look at the distancing that the photos were taken and how a particular lens and the angle of a camera could make it look like an area is very crowded when in actuality, it is not. And that's why when you're seeing photos like this, it's important to ask, when was this actual photo taken? As this, quote, news organization is talking about an event that was captured overhead that portrayed a totally different understanding of it. Doesn't really seem that responsible there, Neil, does it? Now, of course, not everyone is social distancing, and there are even people protesting right now. There has been a lot of anger directed towards these individuals as well. Many of these protesters also donning a lot of Trump gear, even though Donald Trump criticizes governors for opening up their states and is not a fan of the Swedish model when it comes to reopening. But nonetheless, it seems to be a lot of Trump protesters that are characterized as individuals who just want their haircuts. There has also been a lot of anger directed towards nurses, and of course their very unchoreographed, really awkward and filled with a lot of dark humor dancing videos that have also galvanized a lot of hate. And yeah, they are, that's just strange. I guess you could say unique. Definitely weird, and definitely not very reassuring during the situation that we're in. But I think it's fair to say that there's definitely two types of individuals out there right now. One individual that really hates the protesters, and another individual that really hates the nurses. And again, one thing that is common here is that this is being fueled by the media and, of course, social media. Hatred for one another, for the lower class, for the middle class, for blue-collar workers, to emotionally react in hatred of these individuals rather than empathy. Okay, the TikTok nurses are a strange case here. I agree. But a lot of people have completely forgotten the ability to empathize with other human beings. There have been other scientific studies that are showing that empathy is going down, which could be a byproduct and a core reaction to everything that we're seeing promoted on, of course, social media that curates its timelines so it decides what it shows you or not. Facebook and other big social media tech giants have also run psychological experiments on how to manipulate people's emotions depending on what they show in their, quote, timeline. And we need to be made aware of that right now, because when we look at these protesters, we should see individuals that are worried about their livelihood as they worry about the larger economic ramifications that, according to some estimates, will have more of a devastating impact on human life than this sickness. This individual, well, maybe a couple of them, but the majority of these individuals are not here protesting because they want a haircut. They're protesting because they're deathly afraid of the economic ramifications that are going to be severe, that I've been warning about since February. The dancing nursing videos, definitely not socially congruent, definitely not smart, definitely something that they should keep to themselves and not put on TikTok, in my own personal opinion, but also something that helps them unwind and relax. And when you talk to nurses and a lot of people that work in trauma-related professions, you see a lot of dark humor. You see a lot of awkward comments and behavior. And I can't believe I'm saying this, you should try to empathize with them as well, no matter how cringy they are. Because at the end of the day, they're just human beings as well. And there's good human beings and there's bad human beings. To classify and think that all nurses and all protesters are bad is a part of the social conditioning happening right now in order to divide and conquer you. Also, another important distinction to point out here is that many hospitals, depending on, of course, their location, some of them have been completely empty, some of them have been half empty, some of them have been very busy, but overall, the projections have been wrong. There have been a lot fewer hospitalizations than believed, and a lot of the hospitals are going out of business, and a lot of nurses are being fired right now, mainly because of the elective surgeries not happening there, which is the #1 generator for most hospitals. Cancer screenings and other important procedures have been totally stopped because of this madness, which will cause a lot of suffering for, of course, these individuals, which you should have empathy for. You should try to understand and share some of their feelings. And the first step to doing that is by getting rid of the fear-mongering that leads you into a panic, into an emotionally induced state, which you are more likely to be manipulated if you are in. Because the bigger truth that is being kept away from you is that the only thing that's going to help you during this situation is you yourself. And more specifically, the relationship that you have with your family, your community, and neighborhood. You coming together with your fellow man and woman, not hating each other, but coming together will help save humanity. Just like this report we're getting from a dairy farm in Pennsylvania that decided to donate and sell some of their own milk instead of dumping it as it was ordered to do so. The community responded. Cars started lining up. The farm didn't go out of business. They sold out of their products. The community was able to get their hands on perishable items, which shows you how easily we could fix a lot of the bigger problems in front of us, especially the bigger problems with mismanagement of food. Many people need to understand people aren't eating less or more during this time of crisis. But of course, because monopolies have such control of the market, because of the lockdown, a lot of produce isn't going to schools and restaurants like it usually is. Because of that, a lot of it is being thrown out to the tune of, quote, $15 billion with just fresh fruits and vegetables that, according to some estimates, have already been destroyed. The meat market is another market that you're going to see big ramifications of at the grocery store that we've been warning about for weeks now that will impact you soon. As of course, cattle, pigs, and other animals are being slaughtered because of mismanagement and no one being able to buy them. And it's really going to be you making contact with your community, with the farmers, working together hand in hand, decentralizing the food supply chain, which is in the hands of monopolies, that will make the biggest difference, that will keep farms up and running and people not hungry. The businesses that are providing charities, like the Northeast Dairy Producer Association, they deserve your business since they are donating food, milk, and other produce to individuals who wouldn't have it if it wasn't for them being in business. So support them. A little bit of charity goes a long way, especially now, as well as courtesy. As you know, I've been taking this situation seriously from the very beginning. Been telling you that it most likely came from a biolab all the way from the very beginning. I was telling people to stock up on their food before anyone was even talking about the food shortages. I was telling you about precious metals before many of them totally ran out of supply. I was telling you to buy supplements and seeds before many of them became unavailable across the country. And now I've been telling you to start your own farm. The situation at hand is a very uncertain one, a very dangerous one that has appeared right in front of us, and it could wipe us out individually, if of course we let it. And this is a video of bees coming together, luring a murdering hornet that everyone's talking about right now, reaching North America. And it shows you these bees using almost everyone in their nest, raising their temperatures in order to cook this murdering hornet alive. Individually, we do not stand a chance. So think twice next time you attack a nurse or a protester or any other blue-collar worker or individual who wants to make a difference to the situation that we're in, because those individuals, if we come together, will make that difference happen. I believe that can happen. And if you believe this to your core, like I do, share it with your friends and family members before it's too late. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more.
Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? Well, how about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.